screen candidates for the life sciences industry. Each role is slightly different, but I often get asked from clients, how do we make sure we screen individuals so that they're the right ones to really do the job? So I wanted to share some tips with you that we do or we recommend for our clients. And one, you can do some testing depending on the role, and what I mean by testing is psychometric profiling. We really like doing that. We have a sales potential profile. We have others that are potential profiles as well, like for customer service, management, and those are profiles that really look for high performance and identify whether this person's the right fit and what their potential for high performance is, as well as it measures the emotional quotient. I can expand on that at another video, but there are lots of other types of profiles you can use. Some companies use the Gallup, but profiling is a good way to be able to identify the individual's personality and character traits and the way that they would approach things. The other is you want to see their writing skills. So often candidates will submit a written cover letter. However, somebody else could have written that. And there are so many AI tools that are out there that can do it as well. But you could give them a written test to do maybe in the office at some point in time when you're doing your interviews. But you want to know what their written ability is. And sometimes you'll see that on emails when they send follow-up emails thanking you for the interview. That's when you'll catch things that will really show whether they've got good English writing skills, especially if they're a newcomer. And it's important in the role, say in marketing or communications or customer service, where they'll be writing and follow-up, or even sales for that matter. So that'll help you identify that as well. So, phone interview is obviously important. So sometimes they're going to be calling customers. You want to hear what their phone skills are like, and you want to do a phone interview. So we start with the phone interview ourselves, and that gives us a good sense of what they're like. And some people are very dry on the phone. They're actually quite terrible when we call them, and at first they don't respond very well. So until they recognize it's us, and then all of a sudden they change. So I don't like that often, and it is a good indicator of what they're like in terms of the way they communicate on the phone. Video interviewing is a great way to see how individuals are on the video and comfort level. And obviously with the pandemic, there were a lot of video interviews that were done, but it also, sometimes you're having video meetings with customers, so it shows you what their comfort level is, and also the way that they would dress. It's important to see, what their social judgment is on different platforms, and the way that they would see a video interview. Do they see that as the same as going in a person? So I think that that's important as well, that doing video interviews. And obviously in person, do they show up early? It's the same way in phone, video, and in person. Making sure, do they show up early? What's their eye contact? Are they prepared? What research have they done in the company? All the normal things for interviewing. And those are all important. If they haven't done that, if they don't know the company, if they haven't researched the industry, done some research on the product, we don't expect them to know the organization products inside out. It's difficult. Unless, of course, they've come from the industry, maybe from a competitor, then, the expectations are different, and the level of the position obviously dictates what you're going to look for. The other things that you can also do with candidates is that, when you're going through the resume, you want to screen to make sure that what they've been telling you in the interview, you may want to look at verifying the roles, why they went from one role to the other. We do that each time. We verify certain things because we want to know consistency, and we want to understand what they did in their roles, and how relatable they are, obviously, to the role that you're going to be hiring them for. And, what type of manager they liked working for the most, maybe one that they didn't enjoy working for, customers, those sorts of things that they know. If you're hiring somebody that's in the industry, you really want to check customers that they say they know. Don't just assume that because they called in certain hospitals or certain regions. You want to really verify what they do know, how successful they were, if they're working with GPOs, what did that look like? Did they negotiate any contracts, any challenges? How did they do pull through with products? Those sorts of things. You really want to verify and not make any assumptions. Some people are really good at making it look like, that they have a lot of information, that they were very successful, but you want to verify that. You want to know what did that success look like? How did they do it? Maybe walk me through your most successful sales accomplishment. How did you do that? Tell me about a time you weren't successful. Listen to the things they say, help verify that. There are some customers who do get candidates to do 30, 60, 90 days, and make sure when you're asking them to do that you give them lots of direction, and that your expectations of candidates that you're getting to do that are realistic. If they're a new grad, that's going to be difficult. Obviously, I'm not recommending you do that with somebody who's a new grad, but somebody who's more experienced and has done a 30, 60, 90 day before. So make sure that the projects or exercises you're getting them to do is realistic to the role and to the candidate. And reference checking. The other thing is, when we do reference checks or we ask candidates for reference checks, we tell them who we want references from. So, we don't want coworkers, we want 3 managers for sure. If they don't have enough experience to have 3 managers, we'll ask for managers from other departments or from customers, but individuals that can verify working with them, what the working style was, why they left from the company, just different things like that. So we don't just let them provide references. They have to go hunt for them usually, so we have to wait a couple days for that as well. So those are some of the things that when you're screening candidates and you're verifying that they are a good fit to your organization, those are some of the tips that I would recommend. And you want to see that consistency with the individuals and how they handle themselves. I hope you found that helpful. And if you have, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. I do post lots of hiring, interviewing, coaching for candidates and hiring managers in the life sciences industry, and I hope you join us. Thank you.